All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Ruel. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect, the Bayal, Dawadah, the house of David. All right, so let's go right into it. All right. So I put in here the digital new world order, right? So let's go and read some of this. It says the digital new world order refers to the profound global shift where technology, especially AI, absolutely, and this is what this thing is all about, right? To get you into what a transhumanism world, right? The internet of things, the internet of everything, the internet of body, right? And that goes in with all the internet of banking. So it's all in there with everything, and concluded. So internet of everything, right? Ultimately, meaning a new world order where you become a part of robotics. You see, all right, AI tracking, Palantir, right, which was the first total information awareness program, right, which was created through DARPA, right? So that's why you have the whole thing of Facebook, Instagram, and so on and so forth. You see, which is all tracking, tracing, control. Palantir does the same thing. Gideon alerts pre-crime and so on and so forth. All right, this is a part of a new world order that these devils are looking to push off, right? Along with that microchip. You see, the NFC microchip, the near field communications, the RFID microchip, which is the radio frequency identification, right? A part of a smart city, right? Smart meaning surveillance, monitoring, analysis, reporting, tracking. You see, this is the world that they imagine. These are the worlds and the things that they're talking about. This is what Davos 2026 is all about. All right? Their summit meeting, their high peak meeting between the nations, right? And they're coming together for one world order, right? But there's things going on the other side. You see, and a lot of them they're at a war amongst each other. You see, there's a lot of things going on in the midst of this thing. This is all prophecy that's happening. But anyway, it says AI data and connectivity reshapes politics, economics, and society. It says creating new power dynamics, right? It says dynamics, Salakia. It says challenges like cybersecurity, digital divides, governance, and opportunities moving beyond traditional nation state power towards a more complex, interconnected, and sometimes fragmented digital first world with competing ecosystems. It's characterized by geopolitics, right? Competition in tech and the weaponization of data, right? So guess who becomes the data? You. You are the data. You are the track, trace, and control. All right? You become the data. 6G is nothing but reading your mind, your thoughts, and everything like that. This devil is trying to play the most high, right? With this AI governance and technology and things of this nature. All right? You see? Let me go here real quick to 2 Thessalonians. Right, 2 Thessalonians 2. And let's start up at the top. It says, let's go to verse 3, Salakia. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, right? The son of destruction. And this man is trying to set up what you call which they put they try to put a backstory name on it, all right? The Agenda 2030, right? The 17 Sustainable Development Goals, right? You see, and to get his new world order up and running, he's running around the planet stealing and raping and robbing and murdering and taking resources as Esau has always done, because he's been a vagabond and a fugitive in the earth and running from justice. And justice will be served out here on the earth. Why? Through the Most High, through Yahweh Shai, who's coming, right? Now, the prophecies are at hand, man. Everything is standing, right? Now we know we got to go through the hour of temptation, the mark of the beast, right? Which is that RFID microchip. You see? And so on and so forth, man. But, civil wars, race riots, pestilences, and all these things are happening before your faces, right? The Most High is not a man that he shall lie. Numbers, the 23rd chapter, the 19th verse. Okay? It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called Yahweh." Right? We're just gonna, matter of fact, let's just read it all verbatim. It says it's called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is a God. Remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things, and now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. And he's being revealed by who? The prophets are revealing him, man. All right? Okay? Habakkuk. You see? Standing upon the watch. You see? All right? It says, "For the mystery of iniquity, the man of sin. The man of straight lawlessness, man." Okay? It says, "Doeth already work, only he who now letteth," right? And that's the so-called white man. Esau, Edom, the devil. All right? "Only he who now letteth will let," it says, "until," mainly the tiny tops. All right? Amalek. Okay? The grandson of Esau. All right? Because see, Esau had Esau had a couple, he had some grandsons, man. Teman, right? Kenaz, right? See, that's just a few. Okay? Amalek. You see, Amalek got a huge problem with us, man. Got a huge problem with the Israelites, man. And we know that they're the tiny tops behind all this thing, the spirit behind the scenes. But Nero 47 is really their speaking mouthpiece, right? You see? It says, "And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth," and that's through the prophets, "and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming," and that's physical, because Yahushua, when he comes back, he's going to destroy you devils. All right? He's going to destroy all you nations, all you kings who think you're going to set up on earth, think you're going to run some things. Yahushua going to take you down. All you devils going to go down. All you other nations going down. All right? You're going to be put under the feet of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's what's going to happen. Under the Israelites, 144,000, starting with the first fruits, right? Okay? Because you elites, right? The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Eisenhowers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, those who are high up in the society, no, your asses is going into slavery. You will be the first fruits of slavery. Psalms 149. All right? That is your future. Okay? Your future is not bright. All right? It's not bright at all. Okay? All right? It says, and you think your new world order, you think you're going to get it up and running, you're going to eat deliciously, and then you're just going to sit there. No, the Most High, Yahweh, through his son, Yahushua, right? Because you're dealing with a man of war. You don't understand this? I don't think they told you. All right? I don't think they told you, Esau. But Yahweh is a man of war, right? Now, hold on. Soon we're going to read that. Let's read this here, and we're going to go get that real quick. It says, "And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." Right? It says, "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan," right? Satan, which means adversary, right? It says, "with all power and signs and lying wonders." And as you can see, his signs and his lying wonders is pseudoscience, right? It's technology, AI, robotics, all right? All lying wonders, okay? What you got, these miracle drugs, all right? And so on and so forth, man. So many things of that nature, man. Like the Rockefellers, they hijacked the pharmaceutical industry, They absolutely hijacked that. So what you got is nothing but petroleum medications, man. All right, because that's what they did with that. Okay, all right. So let's go on here. It says, and with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they may be saved. There you go. All right. So let's go get this here. Cause Esau, I don't think nobody told you, right? I don't think nobody told you, Amalek. You see, but the Heavenly Father, right, and His Son Yahushua, okay, they're men of war. You see, especially the Heavenly Father is a man of war. All right, and we're gonna have you understand that right here. Okay. All right. Exodus 15:3. It says, Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. Okay, so when you playing, you thinking that, okay, well, I'm gonna be able to beat the Heavenly Father. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna, no. You're not gonna beat the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, the Supreme. And you're not going to beat Yahushua and the angels, the heavenly hosts, right? The mighty angels, okay? Not some damn little baby angels that you try to put up there with a goddamn, all right? Okay, little white baby angels. No. Okay, that ain't it. Okay? You see? Devil. All right? These are going to be the angels. These are going to be the curse that go over the face of the earth. You're going to see the chariots. Every single... And you devils have seen them. You devils have seen them, but the world is going to see them. And there's going to be a lot in the sky. All right? Tons. Okay? Tons. The earth is going to be covered. And Yahweh's chariot, let alone, it's going to come on, man. It's going to cover the earth. Come on, man. It's going to cover the earth, man. It's going to be huge, man. And then the angels coming with him, man. It's going to be a lot going. It's going to be a lot. Esau, you're not going to beat him, Esau. You're not going to beat him, Esau. All right? You're just playing out your role of prophecy, man. That's all you're doing, man. But ultimately, your obliteration and your and you're gonna be a slave. That's what's coming to you, man. And all the rest of you other nations too. When you think we playing with you by telling you these things, no, these things is written, all right, and it's gonna play out, and it's gonna happen before your eyes, just as it is now. Okay. All right, so let's go back into here. All right, where we at? Okay, geopolitical tech competition. It says nations like the U.S. and China vied for dominance in AI and semiconductor technology, leading to tech decoupling, supply chain fragmentation, and the creation of rival digital ecosystems, and seen with the digital sleek road, right? Silk Road, Salakia. It says data as power. It says the ability to collect or store or analyze massive amounts of data, right? And that's what you are. That's what the people have become. You become data. Okay, that's why they got data centers. And then when you get that chip that's inside of you, that chip that you're going to get pushed off, you take that chip, you really become data. All right? Hooked up with 6G, which is nothing but ionizing radiation. All right? High 6G with width bands and so on and so forth, man. All right? 5G was a small, but it didn't cover as much, and it wasn't as fast. But 6G, and they got 7G that they work on too, right? Because these devils think that they're going to go on beyond their time. Right? They're not going to go beyond their time. Right? I mean, I'm going to show you why. Let's go here. Let's go to the book of Job 14:5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou was appointed his bounds, that he cannot pass. This man is not going over 1 minute of being in rulership, all right, that the Most High set him up for prophecy. So when all the prophecies are fulfilled, right, especially the MOTB, World War III, right, he's out of the picture. He's through. And then your ultimate deliverance is into what? Captivity. That's where you will end. And the rest of you other nations. Right? That is your ending. Okay? You will not rule on the earth ever again. The Israelites under the house of David, right? The top being the Heavenly Father, the Supreme being Yahweh, right? Yahweh Shai, the second in command under Yahweh, right? And then King David, right? Okay? You see? And then the Israelites. All the Israelites will be governing the earth, right? Meaning, like, let's just say the 144,000, right, will be governing the earth, right? But all Israel should be saved, Romans the 11th chapter, the 26th verse. You see? And they all will be righteous. It will be what you call the planet of the Jakes. All right? All right? The planet of the Jakes. Okay? And you devils, you will be obliterated after your 1,000 years of slavery, according to Obadiah 1:18. So you'll be Obadiah 1:18. All right? So let's go here. Let's go back. All right? It says AIs, where we at? Oh, data and power. It says the ability to collect, store, and analyze massive amount of data empowers surveillance, right? Empowers surveillance. You see? So Palantir, right? Gideon, you see? The Total Information Awareness Act, awareness program, Salakia, right? That was the first prototype. That's the prototype of Palantir, right? Which was started by what? DARPA. You see? All right? To track, trace, and control and check out people's movements and thoughts and everything else of that nature, right? You see? And that's where these things have advanced. You see, because that was back in 2000, I think 2004. All right? You can go and look it up if you want, yeah. Let me see. Where we at? Okay, it says creating a hacked world order. It says where systems are vulnerable. It says AI's transformative role. All right. It says artificial intelligence as a core driver with decisions focusing on the potential to be a trusted friend or a destabilizing force, requiring speed versus safeguards in development. It says economic restructuring. It says digital transformation. It says emerging economics. It says in the new digital currencies, right, like CBDCs, right? You see, off of your movements, your frequencies, your thoughts, your thought patterns, and everything like that. This is where this man is trying to play the Most High. He's trying to play the Heavenly Father. All right? He's trying to play Yahweh. Okay, but on the left-hand side of wickedness, right? Through his technocratical New World Order, right? The digital New World Order system. All right? The beast system. Okay? It says digital transformation, emerging economics, and new digital currencies challenge existing economic systems requiring new, multilateral frameworks, right? It says governance challenges. It says issues like cyber security, data privacy, algorithmic bias, and bridging the digital divide demand global cooperation and new norms for tech governance. It says technology influences culture, trust, and social structures, and promoting right and prompting questions about protecting individuals from the darkest side of human nature within digital systems. It says concerns and debates, speed versus safety, how to regulate repeatedly involving technologies like AI without shifting progress or allowing harmful applications. You see, inclusively ensuring benefits are shared and the digital divide doesn't worsen inequity, right? It says inequality. It says national sovereignty versus global standards. It says balancing national interests with the need for international digital cooperation. All right, so let's go over here into some videos real quick. Right, and as you can see, these devils speaking about their new world order, right? So, and they're boasting about it, right? They're boasting about it. Let's go to Psalm, the second chapter, right? And let's get it in the NLT as well. Right, it says, let's read over in the KJV first. It says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord, right, Yahweh, and against his anointed, meaning Yahushai, right, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast their cords from us. It says, and he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision, right? So let's go and read it over in the NLT. It says, why are the nations so angry? And why do they waste their time with futile plans? Right? And their futile plans is to set up a new world order, right? You see? It says, and the kings of the earth prepare for battle. It says, and the rulers fought together against the Lord and against his anointed one, right? So they're trying to explicate out the Heavenly Father and his son, Yahushua, say that we don't need them. We got this. See, they don't want to be under the Heavenly Father or his son, Yahushua. They don't want to be, because Yahushua is going to rule over all. You see? You see, in the Heavenly Father, ultimately, the Heavenly Father is supreme. He rules over all anyway. All right? But Yahushua is going, he rules over all anyway too, right? He said, everything that was given unto me in heaven is given unto me in earth as well, right? Complete rulership of everything, all right? That's what that's speaking of, and that's what they don't want, right? And then because we're gonna rule over the earth, all right? The house of David, the governing body, is gonna rule over the earth. All right, the law, statute, and commandments is going to be within our inward parts, man. Right, in our minds. Right? You see, that's why every Israelite is going to come back on the earth fully righteous. There's not going to be one Israelite on the earth that's not going to know the law, because it's going to be within him. You see? He's going to be righteous. All right? It says, let us break their chains, they cry. It says, and free ourselves from slavery to God. See that? To Yahweh. It says, but the one who rules in heaven laughs, and the Lord scoffs at them. You see that? Yahweh scoffs at them. It's funny. All right? So let's go to the third chapter. All right? Because this is what they're trying to do. Right? Let's get up out of there. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's keep it in the NLT. Let's go to the third verse. Right? It says, for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covenants whom the Lord abhorreth. See? It says, for they beg about their evil desires. See? For they brag about their evil desires. See? And they've been bragging about their evil desires. What do you think Davos 2026 is all about? They're having a summit meeting. That's what they're doing. And they're talking about what their plans are. Digital ID. Right? Okay? The RFID microchip. Things of that nature, governing, surveillance governing, AI, Palantir, right, Gideon, and so on and so forth, right? a surveillance on speech. You see, everything that they talking about, they boasting about these things, right? And they're talking about it, right along with their witchcraft and demons and demonic and witchcraft spells and everything else. This is all the World Economic Forum, right? Which has a lot of things to do with the World Health Organization as well going into it, right? It's all connected. Everything is all connected. You see? There's not one thing that's a part of this thing that's not connected. All right? Okay? It says they praise the greedy and curse Yahweh. See, they praise the greedy and curse Yahweh. All right? Because this man got a short time. He know if his days is determined, right? So he got a short time. Let's go over here. Let's play this real quick. Let's hear this with Mark Kearney real quick, right?
Prime Minister Brian Platt with Bloomberg News. Yesterday when you met with
Now, Mark Kearney is speaking about a new world order, so listen.
Premier Lee, one of the things you said in the public remarks was this partnership with Canada and China, this new partnership, sets us up well for the new world order. What did you mean by that? What is the new world order?
Well, this is